Good morning and welcome back to Garden Bug Poetry. I hope it is a beautiful day where you are. Our poem, as promised, is "The moon is too big to be the moon. Our bodies have fathers, and yet on the clearest nights it appears we all had 9 mothers and a voice they ignored in the distance. Some midnights have a violent clarity, and the first one, your first child survives, will churn up the sky for many years." So that is the first poem I've read that was not written explicitly for children. It's actually a poem for my 13th book, So Clearly Beautiful. And I wanted, in terms of the daily videos as we transition to weekly videos, to read one of the ones that's been worked on a lot. I don't have a lot of kids' poems. I've read the good ones to you already. To keep the weekly videos going, I'm gonna need to write some more. But I wanted to read a poem for the first time that it was in a book, right? So last week we talked about drafting and process of writing and how many times you'll write. 5 times you'll write a poem, 10 times, 20 times. You could write a poem for years, depending on what you're working on. So I wanted you to hear one that was an actual finished product that ended up in a book. Right? So that poem is not necessarily for kids, but it's about kids. It's about loving your children, and it's about how important it is at night when they go to sleep and you know they're safe and happy and warm and all those things. So the lesson for today in terms of poetry, right, other than drafting, other than the many times you'll work on a poem before it ends up in a book, is that a lot of poetry is about love. It's about the presence of love, the absence of love, wanting to love and take care of people in your life, which is what we're all doing now. We're all doing our best to take care of each other, our kids, our parents. Everyone's doing our best to make sure that even though most of us are just staying in our houses, that the people in our lives know that we love them. And that's what this entire book is about. This book is the dedication to the, it's written for Isabel and Thomas, who've been your little kids' poem readers while we're doing these. And then they asked me to write an acknowledgments at the back of the book, and it's the most important people in the world are the people that are good to your children. Thank you to everyone who is good to the Demaree kids. And we've got this nice network with teachers and grandparents and all of us that take care of each other's children. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do these videos was so that you would have writing prompts and something to do, and that from our house to your house, you could have someone getting to talk about art and love and beauty and trying to help each other and things like that. So that's maybe the most important thing right now. So for your prompts, the prompts for both the younger kids and the older kids are to write a poem about someone you love. It could be a teacher, it could be a parent, a grandparent, maybe it's someone you miss right now that you're not getting to see as much as you normally would. I know none of my kids are getting to see their grandparents or their friends as much as they normally would, and that's hard. So maybe you can write a poem for somebody or about someone that you love, but the prompt for the younger kids and the older kids will be the same one. Write a poem about someone that you love. Okay? So this morning we have more poems that were sent in that Isabel's going to read, and then we'll get to our little sign-off until next Friday. So thank you for joining Garden Bug Poetry.
2 poems by Milo from Columbus. I am sitting on a beach, but I am all alone. Suddenly I feel a tap. I looked back. I saw water in a cap, but nothing else. Then the water moved. I think it wants to say hi. Hi, water. Oh, it's a wave. Say hi to me. It waved. I am made of gold and leather. Changing into my white suit. My name is Midas. I'm a mastermind in war. I fly into war as I fight to win. And as you know, I can't die. So I will take over the world. Mwah, ha, 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 ha. The next 3 poems are by Ollie, 6th grader from Columbus. Spring. Smell all the smells in the air. Animals are coming out of their lairs. Spring. All the flowers are blooming. All the bugs are looming. Spring. The temperature is getting warm. Mosquitoes start to swarm. Spring. Lettuce in the rainy outside. Oregano, glad I didn't say. A graphic jam. A fish because they stay in schools in a crock pot. Whee! I will be the flare in the night streets of Columbus. The city is collapsing and there is no one to go to. If you need help, including the police. I just got these powers, but so did the most vicious criminal in my home city. I must master my powers before he does. He calls himself Red Lightning. I am the only one who can defeat him. I am F.A. Gertron. Thank you.
By Poetry Day, we have, this is our end of our 3rd week, so we have 15 episodes up with writing prompts for younger and older kids. We are going to be moving into doing this they'll post every Friday now, so we'll do 1 a week instead of 5 a week. You're welcome to use any of the prompts at any point and send in your poems. We'll make sure to read them as they come in. We'll read our favorites during the video. Anyway, I hope where you're at this morning, I hope it is a beautiful day. I hope you're staying healthy and staying ornery, and we'll be back next Friday with another episode of Garden Bug Poetry.